In today's video, we're going to tell you about 5 pieces every lover of classical music knows. Do you know all of them? Do you know how they were written and why are they so popular? Stay on our channel to find out more about them. Number 5, Moonlight Sonata, got its name after the composer's death. It is Piano Sonata number 14 in C-sharp minor, written by Ludwig van Beethoven, marked Quasi una Fantasia, OP 27, number 2. It was composed in 1801 and 1 year later dedicated to the composer's pupil countess Giulietta Guicciardi. Who was she? Giulietta was born in Poland and arrived to Vienna in June 1800, and her beauty caused her to be noticed by the high society. Beethoven became acquainted with her through the Brunswick family, as her cousins were his students too. There are some speculations that she was the one whom he dedicated his famous letters, The Immortal Beloved. Even though the piece was dedicated to her, it was not Beethoven's intention when he was writing the sonata. He did not follow the traditional movement arrangement, fast, slow, fast, while writing this sonata, as the opening movement is slow and is adagio sostenuto. This movement opens the sonata with octaves in the left hand and repetitive triplet figuration in the right hand. The movement shall be quiet. However, some performers like to interpret small dynamical changes based on the harmonies and their changes. Many musicians were impressed by this movement, such as Berlioz, who said that it is one of those poems that human language does not know how to qualify. The second movement, Allegretto, is a relatively conventional scherzo and trio with the first section of the scherzo not repeated. It's a beautiful dialogue full of legatos and staccatos that create cheerful mood of this movement. The second movement is written in D-B major. The final movement in C-sharp minor is full of fast arpeggios, strongly accented notes, and fast alberti bass sequences that are played by both hands various times. An effective performance of this movement demands lively and skillful playing, great stamina, and is significantly more demanding technically than the first and second movements. The C minor sonata, particularly the third movement, is held to have been the inspiration for Frédéric Chopin's Fantaisie impromptue, and that the Fantaisie impromptue was actually a tribute to Beethoven. It manifests the key relationships of the sonata's 3 movements, chord structures, and even shares some passages. Are you able to play Moonlight Sonata? If so, which movements? Let us know in the comment section. Number 4, Clair de Lune. Clair de Lune, composed by Claude Debussy, is a third movement of piano suite bergamasque. It became popular all over the world and became one of his most famous pieces. The piece was created between 1890 and 1905. The composer was not keen to use these early piano compositions because they weren't in his mature style, but in 1905, he accepted the offer of a publisher who thought they would be successful. While it's not known how much of the suite was written in 1890 and how much was written in 1905, it's clear that Debussy changed the names of at least 2 of the pieces. Passepied had first been composed under the title Pavane, while Clair de Lune was originally entitled Promenade Sentimentale. The movements of the suite have not following names: 1. Prélude, 2. Minuet, 3. Clair de Lune, and 4. Passepied. Clair de Lune can be translated as moonlight, and while listening to the piece, you can clearly imagine the moon shining at night on the river. Do you like this piece as much as we do? Let us know, and remember to subscribe to our channel. Number 3. I guess I don't even have to introduce this piece. Turkish March is a rondo written by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart and is the third movement of Piano Sonata number 11. The 3 movements of this sonata are Andante Grazioso, 2. Menuetto, 3. Alla Turca. The third movement is one of the Mozart's most famous pieces and was composed in 1783 and published 1 year later. It's a fast piece with many 16th notes and staccatos, often played octaves. The 4 original pages of the score of this piece was discovered in 2014 in Hungary and matched to the 5th final page that's held in Salzburg. Number 2, Bagatelle number 25 in A minor, composed by Ludwig van Beethoven, known as Für Elise, is pieced, played, and listened by many. The piece was not published during composer's life and was found 40 years after his death. It was composed during 1810 and published in 1867. The identity of Elise is unknown, but there are some speculations. Some sources suggest it could be Thérèse Malfatti, and the original title of the piece could have been Für Thérèse and could have been transcribed incorrectly. Another theory talks about a German soprano singer, Elisabeth Rocker, who was a friend of Beethoven, and he might have wanted to marry her. And the third theory speaks about a prodigy, Elise Barentsvold. Do you have any ideas who could be Elise whom he dedicated this beautiful piece to? If so, we'd love to hear it from you. Number 1 is written again by Ludwig van Beethoven and is called Ode to Joy or An die Freude in German. It's the 4th movement of its 9th symphony, and the tune was adapted as a hymn of Europe by the Council of Europe in 1972. The piece was written in 1785 and published 1 year later. It adapted the text written by Friedrich Schiller, poem Ode to Joy, in 2001. Beethoven's original handwritten manuscript of the score, held by the Berlin State Library, was added to the Memory of the World Program, heritage list established by the United Nations, becoming the first musical score so designated. Ninth Symphony is a choral symphony, the final complete symphony written by Beethoven. It was first performed in Vienna in 1824. The premiere of Symphony No. 9 involved the largest orchestra ever assembled by Beethoven and required the combined efforts of the Karnather House Orchestra, the Vienna Music Society, and a select group of capable amateurs. While no complete list of premier performers exists, many of Vienna's most elite performers are known to have participated. Beethoven, who was almost dead by that time, conducted the premiere. Reports from the event vary, and some say the piece was under-rehearsed, but in any case, it was surely a great success. The symphony is regarded by many critics and musicologists as Beethoven's greatest work and one of the supreme achievements in the history of music. It's also one of the most performed symphonies in the world. Thank you for staying with us until here. Which piece would you like to hear about during the next video? Leave a comment, hit that notification bell, and remember to like and subscribe to our channel for more awesome videos. Thank you.